Dominique Wilkins into the paint. Jump shot. He's not going to get it this time either. He's had 2 cracks at it and has missed them both. Shawn Kemp wants a piece of somebody. He was held back in stages there. Dominique trying to settle him down. Who was he going after, Rasmussen?
Well, you know, it's hard to tell because...
Well, Rasmussen's called for his 6th foul, so it must have been him he was chasing.
It didn't look like Shawn Kemp was really that angry. There's the shot by Dominique. There's the battle inside. I'm not sure what happened. I mean, Blair just kind of reached in there. It looked like he bit his tongue, and that hurt.
But he takes off. First, Kevin Willis detains him. Derek McKee then stops him a little.
But is he really after someone there? You know, sometimes how you get hurt.
What do you say then to those Knicks fans who say, take a look at what happened between Shawn Kemp and Kevin Willis, and going by the letter of the law, according to their interpretation, if you throw any kind of a blow whatsoever, it calls for a suspension, but instead a fine was given?
Judge Gumbel, it's with a closed fist. Judge Thorne concluded that when it arrived, it was more of a slap, and there's ample precedent for no suspension in that circumstance.
Okay, so again, you're comfortable with everything that went down this way?
I think the big story would be if we change the rules in this circumstance. I think our fans around the nation, including in New York, would properly be wondering what kind of a league this was.
At the break, midway in the third, a little pushing and shoving. Shawn Kemp and Vinny Del Negro. Vinny gives away 6 inches and 40 pounds. Fortunately, no punches. Double technical fouls called in this one. George Karl unhappy, saying it's just some pushing and shoving.
To defend against that. Teppers would flare in the third. It's down 3 on the break. He's fouled by Ricky Pierce. And away we go. Pierce, Christie, and Anthony Peeler all ejected. But somehow, Shawn Kemp stayed in the game. And in the fourth, Kemp would take over. Nate McMillan to Kemp for the jam. Then, running off the break, Kemp again with authority. Sonics win it 99-92. They finished.
Look at the eyes of Shawn Kemp. He is hot. You see Ricky with that X-Man chokehold like he put on Wes Matthews a few years ago.
Yeah, Christie persists. Finally, Shawn Kemp says that's enough. Reaches around, grabs him, and restrains him. Then Terry Stott comes in, and now they start grappling.
That's an angry man.
That is one angry dude.
Kemp goes baseline with the pretty left. Then Shaq puts an end to that. Watch this. They call the jump ball on the play as Shaquille puts Shawn down hard. The very next play, Kemp with the slam. 16 points in the game. Sonics by 19 at the half. Up 21. Kemp goes for the layup. Shaquille pushes him into the photographers, and Kemp suffers a cut in his brow and did not return. Shaq was ejected after scoring 16 points and grabbing 11 boards. An automatic one-game
suspension for this. On Tuesday night in Seattle, the Magic visiting the Sonics, driving to the hoop, Shawn Kemp, and a little body contact, not much. Kemp ends up landing in the front row, hit a cameraman, suffered a cut. O'Neal was ejected from the game and fined an automatic $250 for that particular play. So
Miller comes in. He's tied up now by Askew. Pushed aside by Marley. Marley handling Oliver Miller. Kemp and Askew want a piece of Miller. Now Barkley steps up. He's tied up with Kemp and Payton. Back here is McMillan. Oliver Miller is throwing a tirade at midcourt. Here comes Lionel Hollins to restrain Miller. Tim Gergridge comes out to
is ejected, and then watch Shawn Kemp shove Robert Horry into the Sonics bench, and then Horry shoves assistant coach Bob Kloppenberg to the ground. Kemp, disgusted, takes matters into his own hands. Gary Payton, open, brick from the backboard. We go the other way. Kenny Smith, the push to Ellie. Out of nowhere, Kemp with the swat. Sonics fourth quarter, but Seattle hung on. Shawn Kemp, pretty spin. Sonics up by 12, then tension late. Payton starts tugging Maxwell's arm. They don't like each other. Payton had to be restrained. Rudy T sent Maxwell to the locker room. Neither player was ejected. Tempers flared late. Derek Coleman, the semi-swing at Detlef, right there. They exchanged words. Coleman ejected. Sonics win. They had 22 steals in the game.
Carl looking to get his 8th win at home, but he would get a scare in the first half. Shawn Kemp skying. Doug Smith underneath takes him out from underneath. The hoop did count, but the big question, was Kemp okay? It looks a lot worse than it was. Kemp got up, stayed in the game. Big second half, and the Nuggets took a 4-point lead, but the Sonics answered. Shawn Kemp with the jam, and he let everybody know about it. And Dikembe says, hang on, big fella, game not over just.
28 in the first half. Here we go. We're getting into it now. That's not a smart play. No, Kemp is down. Bodies all over the place. George Karl running out on the court. So now people are going to get thrown out of the game. I mean, Kemp is going to the basket. And here comes Lister. And Hardaway both got him. And here's the reaction. He pushes him. Well, Lister got a little swing in there. And look like, who was that? Timmy Hardaway pulled him down from behind. Well, there was more wrestling than punching, and very fortunate. You don't want anybody to be throwing punches. That's why the rule was put in.
Do more than just be a shooter as Payton draws the block. Mercy Hawkins and Luke Longley had some words, and Hawkins pulled aside by Schrepp. Rodman has been called.
Steps inside to draw the foul, and then Shawn Kemp right in the face of Luke Longley. They got to slow it down. They do not want to get into this game where they just go crazy.
And we've got a little rough stuff starting underneath in this one. Shawn Kemp being pushed aside.
They better get Shawn Kemp and Buck Williams away from each other right now. Those guys talking to each other through the screen. Here comes Eddie Johnson. He's just going to blast through the screen, and Shawn Kemp takes exception to it and pushes him. That's a technical foul. Got to be careful now.
Two cities only 180 miles apart. Here's an upstairs look at it.
Well, Buck Williams just punishes him there, and there's Shawn Kemp with a push, and there's Kersey with the push back.
Sparring's over. Tonight, a primetime showdown. It's best 2 out of 3.
And the foul called on Wenning. Oh, Kemp didn't like the hard foul from Wennington.
I think Cummings go for the ball rather than 2 players go for it, but Hawkins a little bit slow in gathering and getting in the air. Wennington wanting to make sure.
Chris Mullen outside, right to left-hand dribble to the baseline, and he comes. Kemp! Spike that baby into tomorrow! And has some words for Chris Mullen. Shawn Kemp with a monster block. That's his poster block.
His 4th block. Look at this. Look at this. Let's save this for a while. Spike it out of there. A lot of airtime. Oh, he's talking.
Colonis with 3, with 2, dribble drive left side. Kemp with a rejection. Kemp with a rejection. Oh, Shawn Kemp rejected that shot. He's talking smack right now, and the players back him off. A 20-second timeout has been called by Milwaukee.
Oh, it's an emotional game, and you can see it on the face of Shawn Kemp. Up in the air, he just spikes it out of the air.
Of their second run, Kemp with the reverse and lands on Rodman.
And then over the head as Dennis Rodman is helpless as the quickness, power, and strength of Kemp. Too much.
The unnecessary play. All of them hooked up there. Frustration by Shawn. He was making it clear that it was Bukowski who was gone, and that Rodman remains, and now he and Kemp are having words. Very difficult for George Karl to ridicule the starting power forward leading.
And Shawn Kemp comes up with it. Rodman will pick it.
Hard work underneath. There's an elbow and it all over. All over.
He put his
Way around Malone. And is fouled by Malone.
Now you just helping them up, and they're taking it the wrong way. There was a confrontation. Shawn Kemp was actually under control.
Karl says, I don't want any help.
Usually he's clean as a whistle on these type of plays. Those guys that plays great defense with his hands. Karl Malone this afternoon.
Malone goes with the left hand, doesn't fall.
No fouling. Staying completely with